Hey y'all, I'm Charly Reynolds and welcome back to the Hey Char podcast. Today I am so excited to have on Garrett Bradford. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, we start pretty much every podcast with just a brief backstory of you, your music. You grew up in Texas.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Love Texas. I'm jealous. So tell me about your growing up and your intro into music.
Sure. So I grew up in Weatherford, Texas, which is about 30 miles west of Fort Worth. Great area to grow up in. Grew up on a ranch there. Both of my folks are very heavily involved in livestock business. My dad had a horse sale company. We did horse auctions. Met my mom. She was actually working as a horse trainer, and they got married. And I was really mostly exposed to that growing up. I didn't have a lot of musical influences, but when I was about 11 or 12, a guy moved to town from Nashville. His name ended up being Dan Roberts, and his son JD was in my grade, and he became my best friend. And Dan had written quite a few hit songs like Beaches of Cheyenne for Garth Brooks and all that. So I just remember I went over to his house the first time, and I'd always ask my friends' dads, "What do you do?" Because it just sounds cool, you know. And he said, "I'm a songwriter. I write songs for a living." I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Well, all the songs you hear on the radio, I write. Guys like me write those." And I said, "Oh my gosh, that's the best job ever." So ever since I heard that, I wanted to be a songwriter.
That is so cool.
And just kept doing it, playing guitar, learning to do that, writing songs, and it was always a part of my life. And then eventually, in the last few years, I've had some breakthroughs that have allowed me to totally pursue it full time. But that's kind of how I got started.
Nice. And when did you move to Nashville?
I moved to Nashville, I guess, about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I still say I'm a Texan because I spend half my time here and half my time back home.
Nice.
So a month here, a month there, a month here, a month there. But I like it. I've found it to be a lot more welcoming than I expected.
Yeah.
Like in Texas, there's this whole thing about there's like a whole rivalry between Texas country and Nashville country. And you hear all these horror stories growing up playing music in Texas. Like, I went to Nashville and it was so awful and they took all my songs. And it's been so fun, though. People are so much more welcoming than I thought they would be.
Oh, yeah, that's a real thing. When I first played in Texas for the very first time, my manager at the time actually was like, "Don't say you're from Nashville. Say you're from Florida," because that's where I'm from originally.
Yeah.
He's like, "They'll just automatically like you better." And I was like, okay. I had no idea that
it's
just a thing, you know? But y'all have really like your own music scene down there. It's like a whole other music city.
Well, yeah, because
in a way.
I mean, the thing that they say, which is so true, because I know people that do it, but you can have like a really great music career and never leave Texas.
Yeah.
You can just play in Texas. We've got our own radio charts. We've got festivals, you know, and it's a huge state. There's a ton of venues. I mean, there's a lot of really successful artists that don't leave Texas that much.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even Cody Johnson, like forever, was just playing in Texas and really succeeding. And like Mike Ryan is another one who does
Mike's great
touring. And the touring part of it is what really is so cool to me. Like seeing all the Texas guys down there. They just tour like crazy and make a good living. And I'm like, dang, that's awesome.
It is. There's a lot of places to play too. Like, I think I took that for granted before I moved here, because I just was kind of like, well, I assumed that everybody's hometown, even a small town like Weatherford, had 6 or 7 places that had live music, and they don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons Texas, I mean, we're a big state, we got a big population, but also we have more of a place for people to, you know, cut their teeth.
Yeah.
A lot more places to play, and I think that's why there's so many artists from Texas.
For sure. What's your favorite venue down in Texas to play? I know that's probably a hard question.
Yeah, that is tough. I would say either the Saxon Pub in Austin, really awesome, historic place, or Green Hall. Is a very famous Texas place. But
yes.
I love all the places that I get to play.
Oh, yeah,
back home.
for sure.
Yeah.
When did you start playing out? How old were you when you first started?
I started going to open mics and stuff when I was about 14 or 15.
Nice.
So, I was pretty young, and I had just started writing songs, a year or two before that, and there was a whole series of open mics in my hometown area, between Fort Worth and Weatherford. So I got to go out there and kind of try it out, and, I didn't have a heart attack. My fears weren't quite as bad as, because at first I was terrified.
Oh, for sure.
But once I kind of got out and started doing it, then I started trying to book little gigs that would pay me, which included the flea market, anything like that. So I'd say I think I was about 16 when I got my first paying gig.
Nice.
And
that's
that was
awesome.
that was a happy day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's an awesome day. Well, now you've played over 600 shows, so that's pretty crazy. Look how far you've come there. Wow. So talking about venues, do you still have a dream venue that you would like to play?
I mean, I would love to play the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. There's quite a few in Texas that I haven't played, like Cheatham Street. I don't know. And then, obviously, as a Texan, the Houston Rodeo is a huge thing. I mean, the Fort Worth Rodeo, for me, being from Weatherford, might be even cooler. But any of the big rodeos in Texas, whether it's Houston, even Fort Worth, or Austin, any of those, I think that'd be really cool.
That's awesome. I actually just went to the Houston Rodeo the first time this year.
It's a lot.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was blown away and obviously Texas does everything big, so it's gonna be all out thing if it's in Texas, but it's a really cool place. That's a good answer for sure. So let's talk about your breakout single, This Way of Life.
Yeah.
So first of all, talk to me about the song and the songwriting process and the idea behind it.
Well, it was kind of, I was very fortunate. It's kind of commissioned, so I got hired to work. Taylor Sheridan, who created the Yellowstone, bought a ranch in Weatherford, where I'm from, and he hired me to do some work on his place. So we kind of became friends, and this was right at the beginning of Yellowstone, so it wasn't the big thing that it is now. This was during season 1, so I said, well, we became friends, and he invited me up to dinner, and eventually he figured out that I played music. So then by this time, the show's getting a lot bigger. This is, a year after I met him. He's having me bring my guitar over to play songs for him, and people that would come visit, people from the show. So I was just like, oh, this is really cool,
Yeah.
And then one day we were sitting on his porch, and he's like, and I never asked him for anything.
Yeah.
Because everybody always was. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't want to be like that,
For sure.
So we're sitting on his porch, and he said, Garrett, sometimes when people are songwriters and they know that I've got the #1 show in the country and it's known for its music, they'll ask about writing a song for the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll bet they do, Taylor. He's like, that's a hint, you idiot. I said, well, I didn't even think that he would consider me writing one. At that time, I didn't have music out or anything.
Yeah.
I said, well, what do you want? He said, well, I want a song about the cowboy western way of life and how it looks like it's dying, but it's still really alive and well. It's just changing. And he was like, I've given this idea to a couple other people, and he named them, and it was people I'd heard of.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I didn't like what they came up with, so that intimidated me.
Oh, the pressure, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, and
pressure's on.
He's the kind of guy that he's very opinionated.
Yeah.
So if he didn't love it, I knew there's not a chance it was gonna be on the show. But anyways, a couple weeks later, I sat down and wrote the song and made an acoustic demo at my little home, really a barn studio. It's in the barn back home where I'm from. And sent it to him, and he texted me back. It was Wednesday night, and then called me and said, we're going to use the song on Sunday, the demo.
No way.
Yeah, and I was like, no. I started freaking out. I was like, but I need to go to a real studio. This is my first song ever.
Yeah.
And he said, no, we like it raw like that. And I said, I even protested again. I was like, man, please let me do it a different week and go to the studio. And then he told me what they were going to pay me. And I said, oh.
You're like, you have whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll do it however you want it.
Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. I did not know. I was going to bring up the Yellowstone thing after because I thought it was you wrote the song before it and it was placed. I had no idea it came about like that.
It was a blessing. It was one of those God moments, because there's nothing I could have planned to make that happen.
Wow.
A lot of times the best things that happen in life are despite of our plans.
For sure.
Because, I mean, if I'd have wanted to get a song in Yellowstone, I don't know what I would have done. Mm-hmm. But I dang sure wouldn't have thought, just going to work down the road, I would end up with a song on Yellowstone.
Wow. That is crazy. That is definitely a God thing right there. Just placing him in your path.
Give him all the credit for that.
That is awesome. And it charted at number 32 on the iTunes chart, too. What did that feel like? I know there's a lot of emotions and just a little bit overwhelming because it's your first song on Yellowstone and charting. So, what did that feel like, just having that as your first song ever?
It was definitely a surreal feeling.
Yeah.
Because, I literally went from not having any music out in less than a week to writing this song, recording it, and then it ended up on, the biggest show on TV at the height of its popularity. Season 3, episode 9 is what it was on. So at first I kind of thought, well, this is easy. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, wow, what a great introduction to the music industry.
Yeah. I didn't realize it's a lot tougher to get stuff like that going.
I was
just very fortunate, but I think I was just mainly thankful and excited, and really had no idea what to do after that.
Yeah.
Because people were emailing me and wanting to write songs with me and all this stuff. So I went from 0 to 60 really quick.
That's awesome, though.
But it was very cool. And the good thing is I'd already been playing my whole life, and a lot, so it wasn't like just a one-off thing that I wasn't, and in the sense that I was ready to go out and play shows and do all that after it. But I guess it's just kind of one of those, you don't know when an opportunity is going to come up like that.
Yeah.
But if you're just ready and, you stay ready and hone your craft, we're all going to find some kind of opportunities in life.
For sure.
And that's been my takeaway from it is I don't know what the next thing's going to be, but if I stay ready for it and stay passionate about what I'm doing, when that thing comes, I won't blow it.
For sure. You'll be ready and prepared
That's
for
right.
it.
That's
so cool. Well, congratulations on all of that. You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Well, that didn't stop your songwriting at all, obviously. You just released your new album, Honkiest of Tonkers, which is such a cool title, by the way.
Thank you.
And it's a 1 and 2 part album. So the part 1 was January, and the part 2 just came out in May, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Both, as of this last Friday, they're both out.
So cool.
I thought about doing one long album, and Christy from Arista, we were deciding, what if we broke it up into 2 things? That way I could do singles off of each one.
Smart.
And but I love the idea of having an actual album out.
Yeah.
Because people can just go click. They don't have to go to your Spotify and look at 15 different singles.
Yes.
Kind of puts everything in one place.
Everything's perfectly organized for them to find. And it's cool to say you have a whole album out,
It is. It's like an accomplishment. One of those things on your bucket list.
For sure. I listened to both, and I have some favorites. So if you'll explain a little bit about these songs that I'm about to bring up here, that'd be awesome. So the first one that stuck out that I loved, and I love the pedal steel, I think it was in the song, Do You, I Do.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, my gosh. It's so good. And just the melodies, too, are beautiful. So tell me the story behind that song.
Well, that song I wrote after I broke up with somebody.
Okay.
And I was thinking it was kind of my idea to break up with them. But I was wondering if it was a mistake, kind of regretting it a little bit. Because, you get lonely.
Yep.
Even me. Get a little lonely.
Everyone, we all feel that.
And so we went to a ride, and it was me and my friend Greg Manuel, and then Greg Manuel Jr. They're a father and son duo.
Nice.
And that song just came out. I guess it's kind of what was on my heart, and I really loved it. As soon as we wrote it, I wanted to go record it. We recorded it soon after, and I think it might be my favorite song on the record.
I'm glad
you said that.
Yes, I loved it. It's just beautiful. And I really am a sucker for pedal steel and it was perfect.
It's
in
definitely
that song.
Country.
Yes, I really loved it. And then on the Act 2, the second album, Give Dad a Call almost brought me to tears. It was a beautiful song. So talk to me about that song. And you wrote that one by yourself, right?
I did, yep. I wrote that. Was actually the first week that I was living in Tennessee, and it was kind of one of those typical Nashville stories where you like meet somebody famous or whatever as soon as you get here. So I was playing a show, private show for some people around here, and I had my sound system, but we needed lights. So they said, we know somebody that has some lights we can use. I'll send you the address. You can go pick them up. So I get there. It's somewhere over in Franklin. Beautiful place. And I get to the entrance, and I'm trying to get to the end of the entrance, get up the driveway, and it's so long. I swear, I feel like this driveway is 2 or 3 miles long. Yeah. Nice asphalt driveway. And I was like, dang, this is really somebody.
Yeah.
You know, when you got to drive that far to get back to their house from their gate.
Yeah.
So it turns out it was, and I didn't get to meet him or anything, but I met the guy that works for him. It was Vince Gill and Amy Grant's place. So me and my dad, who'd passed away, at that point it had just been about a year before. He's one of those guys I would call, and in a situation like this, I would have called him and been like, "We got to get into Christian music, Dad, because they're making good money over here." But I got done, got the lights. And as I'm driving out the driveway, I picked up my phone and just called my dad, not even realizing or thinking that he'd been dead for a year. And then obviously it went straight to his voicemail. And I was just so sad. I started crying. And I said, well, I'm here to write songs. I might as well write a song about it.
Yeah.
And I wrote that song in my head between there and getting back home in Fairview. It just came quick. It's not a real fancy song, but it's definitely heartfelt.
It is. It is beautifully written.
Thank you.
And I think that's why it stuck out so much, was it just the emotion. You could feel the emotion straight through the song. I
had trouble singing that song, even when I do it live sometimes now. I mean, I don't do it a lot, but last time I did it was at 3rd and Lindsley, and I got real choked up.
Yes, it's hard because, we want to be vulnerable and we want to be raw, but doing and then having to perform it in front of people is very tough. I actually have a song about my brother who passed away, and the same thing. It's hard, but it's important to also show that vulnerable side, and even though it's tough. So
people
I understand.
Relate with it too.
They do.
I've had a lot of people, especially playing that song out. Anytime I've played it live, whether it's a good sized deal or just a few people, somebody always says, "Oh, that reminded me so much of my dad." And I don't know, that's one of this too, like that's one of the coolest parts about playing music. No doubt is for people to, and you start realizing that you're not quite as crazy as you thought you were, because you write all these songs about your life, and they're like your diary, and then all these people relate with it. So I'm not as crazy as I thought it was.
No, it's the coolest part, and that's part of our job, I feel like, is to make people feel those things and relate with them. So it's really cool when you get to see, like, at shows that, it worked. Like, they are relating, and I'm glad that you can, touch their hearts like that. That's 100%. Really cool.
I mean, that's the coolest part about it, and I've had quite a few cool conversations about my Yellowstone song, because it's my most popular one, and it's got a total, it's got a good message behind it, and one that I really believe in and have lived through and stuff, about the Western way of life. And I've had so many people who come up to me and say, they might not even be cowboys or anything like that, but for whatever reason that song makes them think of this, or they, I heard it on Yellowstone. Anybody from police officers to soldiers and stuff. And so sometimes it's not even what you think the song's about. It'll touch somebody that, you wouldn't think would even relate to it at all. Yeah,
in a totally different way. Like, for them. It's so cool. I love that. Well, all the songs on both albums are amazing. Those are just two that really stuck out to me that I loved. You're welcome. Well, this next section, so we do a Q&A section. Some of these questions are the same throughout all my guests on this season, and some of them are different, but we'll just go ahead and start here. So what are some set list staples for you when you're on stage?
I would say, like, songs.
Yep. So either covers or originals.
I'm thinking of covers, because it's hard to pick an original. But I would say a Marty Robbins song, Big Iron, and then Silver Wings and Dan Seal's Everything That Glitters Is Not Gold.
Nice.
Those are some of mine.
Great songs, great choices. I think we might have already answered this, but do you remember your first gig?
Yes, it was at First Monday Flea Market.
Yes.
In Weatherford, Texas, and I still got a picture of it. And I still got a copy because my mom had a copy machine or whatever, and I made a copy of the check.
Oh, that's awesome!
I think it was $35.
That is so awesome! Right. I love that. Hey, that's good for a flea market.
That's pretty good. In Nashville, you can't get $35 to do anything.
It's true. It's so true.
Have a number one hit on the radio.
You still can't get $35.
Still can't get no money.
That's so funny. What are some tour or show essentials that you have with you?
Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I'm like the president. I love me some Diet Coke.
I do too.
Other than that, it generally helps to have the guitar.
Yes.
With some extra batteries, but I travel pretty light.
Nice.
I don't take a lot with me other than the bare necessities.
Nice.
If I'm in Texas or Tennessee, I gotta have that gun on me.
Oh, you gotta
be ready.
You're allowed to carry here, so you're good. That's awesome. I know. So you're the low maintenance artist,
That's right.
Which is nice.
I'm pretty low maintenance.
Yes, we love it. Okay, so what is your sound DNA? So if you could pick some artists that you grew up on that have influenced your music, who would they be?
Yeah, I would say a lot of the Texas guys: Robert Earl Keen, Chris Knight, Gary P. Nunn. Red Steagall, some of the old more cowboy singers like Bob Wills.
Awesome.
I would say a lot of those influences are kind of what made me.
That's awesome.
And then obviously the usual. I love classic country.
Yeah.
And you can hear it in my music from anybody from the 70s, 80s, or 60s. But
yeah,
I think those are the most unique ones. The Texas guys that really made me want to do it.
I love that. What does the ideal dream look like for you?
I think for me, I love being able to make a living doing this.
Yeah.
I want to impact as many people as I can with my music.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many that is, whether that'll be like huge stadium type things one day or whether it'll be a smaller career. I don't think that's in my control. All I can control is whether I'm putting out music, and I think it's the kind of music that I should put out. That it means something. That it means something to me. So I say, ideally, my dream, I would love to be 15 years from now to be writing songs for other artists.
Yeah.
Maybe have had a successful touring career myself, and then I would love to own a studio.
Oh, fun!
That's something that I would absolutely love to live somewhere around here. And I'd still have to have a place in Texas.
Yep.
But have a house with a studio in it.
That'd be so
live
cool.
At the studio.
That would be awesome.
That's the dream for me.
That sounds ideal right there.
On some land, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
On a couple 100 acres.
Yes, that'd be awesome. What was the first animal you would get if you had land?
Oh, that's a good question. I would probably get a Hereford cow.
Okay,
I
nice.
love Hereford cows.
Nice.
I have a miniature Hereford bull back in Texas, but he stays at one of my friends' places.
Oh, okay.
I named him Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
cool
I love
looking.
that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He's like that tall and like that wide.
Dang, that's crazy. That's so fun.
He's a
I
chunky
love that.
boy.
Oh yeah, well he's Big Mac, so he's got to be a chunky boy.
That's right.
That's awesome. If you could live anywhere else other than Texas or Tennessee, where would you live?
I think I would live in Montana. That's where my mom is originally from, Missoula, Montana. Got family up there. I would probably live somewhere around the Bozeman area.
Nice.
I absolutely love Montana. I think some of it's in my DNA since my mom's from there. I go there and I'm like, oh, this feels like home.
Yeah.
Big skies, just like Texas. Beautiful sunsets.
Yeah, it's beautiful there.
I think that's where I would go.
Nice. What was the first song you ever wrote, if you remember?
It was called Sago Miners, and it was about, I think it's Sago, I think it might have been West Virginia. There was this big mine that collapsed when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
And these miners were trapped down there, and they ended up dying. really sad deal, and that was the first thing that moved me to write a song. So I wrote this song about the Sago miners.
Wow.
And it's surprisingly good, because after that I wrote so many bad songs.
Yeah.
There was just a glimmer of hope.
Yes, you had beginner's luck in the beginning.
Yes, I did. I literally had beginner's luck, because I found
funny.
the words to that not long ago, and I was like, boy, that is really not bad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For a kid. So
how old were you when you first
I believe I was like 12 or 13.
Wow.
I could probably pinpoint it exactly if I look up when that mining accident happened.
Wow.
But I was really young.
That's really awesome to write about something like that too, being that young.
It just seemed like the thing to do. I think I like writing songs about, I like some introspective songs, but I also like kind of outward looking songs about things in the world.
Yeah.
Or I got 2 truck driving songs on this last record. I'm not a trucker, but I love the idea of, you know, trucking and all that.
Okay, so going into the next section, we have a little like rapid fire this or that section for you. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Barrel racing or calf roping?
Calf roping.
Studio or on stage?
On stage.
Mornings or nights?
Mornings.
Flannel or denim?
Denim.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Yeah, good answer. Line dancing or two-stepping?
Two-stepping.
Do you two-step a lot?
I mean, I can.
Nice.
I sure can.
Okay.
I didn't realize that was such a Texas thing until I started traveling around a little bit more.
Yes, it is. I feel like a lot of places, and I love swing dancing, but like the Palace, Nashville Palace here, like everyone calls it two-stepping, but it's actually more like swing dancing.
It is. Yeah. I noticed that too, because I went there and I was looking at what they were doing, and I was like, I don't even know how you approach a woman without two-stepping.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm bad at two-stepping.
That's every girl I've ever talked to when I was out on the town growing up. It was like, hey, would you like to dance?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's the best thing ever.
It is. I know the swing. I'm better at swing dancing, I think. Two-stepping, I have to get used to it. Actually, half-stepping is harder, or half-step.
Half-step's the whole thing, too.
That's harder
Supposedly that originated in Texas as well. I don't know if it did.
I believe it.
Well, we claim we invented everything.
Yes, yes. I would believe those, though, for sure. So the last section on the podcast, so why I named it Hey Char, I did this series on Instagram and TikTok where someone would say, Hey Char, sing a word or a song with the word whatever in it.
Yeah.
And so now I do that to all my guests at the end of the podcast, live and in studio for you guys. So I'm just going to give you a word and sing the first song that you think of with that word in it. Amarillo.
Amarillo by morning. That was so
I knew you'd have to get that one. I got to do an easy one first. Dust.
Dust in the wind. How does that song go? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Isn't that a Bob Dylan song? The answer is blowing in the wind.
There you go. Sky.
Amarillo sky. And he takes the tractor another round.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that in there either. Moon.
Blue moon over Kentucky. I can't remember how to sing
I was going to say, you give us a little...
A neon moon.
Yes.
Neon moon. I didn't think about that.
Little.
It's all right to be little bitty.
Oh,
a little hometown or a big old city.
I love that song. Beer.
I'll do my best, Luke Combs. Wrong nose ice cold beer never broke my heart.
That was great, Luke Combs impression. I love it. Got to get that grit in there.
Yeah, you got to get it in there.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Garrett. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, if you would just look in that camera, let everyone know where they can follow you and find your music, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. So you can just look up Garrett Bradford on any of the social medias, 2 R's and 2 T's. You can find me there. And TikTok is Garrett Bradford TX. And then I got my website, garrettbradford.com.
Awesome.
So all of that'll work.
Yes, and y'all don't forget to go check out the album part 1 and 2. You don't want to miss it because it's so good, and definitely listen to the songs that I brought up, especially because they are so good.
Thank you.
But thank you so much again, Garrett. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Thank you.